I find that doing this warm-up before I play when I'm rusty is so much better than the alternative, because what we'd have to do is we'd have to play like 4 or 5 games or something until I feel not rusty. But when I do this warm-up, it kind of speeds up that process. So I highly recommend it. How to warm up for League. So make sure you pick Lucian and make sure you pick the attack speed chart and make sure you don't have magical footwear. Normally I'd pick a skin for this, but so that we're on the same page for no skin gang, then we just do it without a skin. So load into the game. First thing you want to do is you want to disable the minions. With this one right here, toggle minion spawn. Then you want to buy your items. So I'm going to click this a bunch of times to add gold. And I'm going to get to level 12. And I'm going to buy Kraken Slayer and Berserker's Greaves. This used to be Gale Force, but they removed it from the game. Then you just level your ult twice, level your Q maximum, and then put the rest of your points in your E, so that there's one little point remaining. If you're fully leveled up, depending on your items, this won't be that good, because you'll have too much cooldown. So then you want to spawn target dummies. You can use Shift B to spawn them, and Shift B, and Shift B, and Shift B. You want to put them around this, like around you in the corners like this. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the drill is and how to adjust it, and then I'm going to break down each part of it and why I pick Lucian, even though I almost never play Lucian. So the full drill looks like this, and then after this you like do that, but if you want to do shorter, you just like do it like that. And also you want to click this auto refresh mana. Keep that enabled, that way you don't go run out of mana. In between things, I'm just like resetting the cooldown and then like taking this off again. Basically, if you have the toggle, you'll have no cooldowns, so you can spam your stuff. But we kind of want to see our cooldowns at the start, so. So then we implement flash into the combo and it looks like this. You start with W and then E midair and then Q midair. You want to try not flash into their face, so kind of end up flashing sideways. Okay, this is a good time to break it down. So why do I pick Lucian? I pick Lucian because you end up doing a lot of mechanical things in the combo, including what you do with your flash and your ability. So let's start there. We start with W flash. First question, why start with W? You start with W because it's the more guaranteed combo. It's also the highest DPS one. And especially with flash, if you're doing like an ability and then flashing, like it's much better to do like W flash than to do any of your other abilities and then flashing. So the first thing I'm doing is, you see this blue bar right here? There's a blue bar that shows up there. That's your cast time. Almost every ability in the game has a cast time. And basically when you see this blue bar, I'm just flashing during it. So I'm doing like this. So I'm doing this. See, I'm throwing the ability, and then while the blue thing is casting in the air, I'm pressing flash. That makes it so the ability comes out after I flash instead of before. It's faster than doing this. If you flash first, it would be much slower. Even if you try and do it fast, it would still be slower. So the next thing is you want to make sure to not flash in their face, because you would never do this in an actual game. You want to make sure you flash to the side a little. This is more realistic. If you're flashing in their face like I'm doing sometimes here, then you're just fucking up. This is much harder to do than flashing in their face, because when you flash in their face, you keep your cursor at the same spot, you see? But if I flash to the side, I have to point here, and then I have to point there. You see, I have to W here and then flash there. So you have to move your mouse quickly. I'm Wing here and then I'm flashing there. So you see my mouse has to move. Remember your W's cast time, that blue bar that shows up at the bottom of your screen? It's a lot easier to do this if you flash towards the end of your cast time rather than at the start. Also, in the practice tool, even if you have cooldowns enabled, there's a bit of a timeout where you can't use the ability. So just be mindful of that. You have to wait about a second before you can try again. Okay, so the next part of your combo is your E. This is kind of, for this it's better to disable the cooldown so you can see. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to E while your auto attack is in the air. So kind of like how I did it there. So like auto and then E, but it's kind of like the auto's in the air. Because right now it's just a single auto, but if you do it after you W, it's going to be a double auto, right? So you want to E while your double auto is in the air, basically. If you don't do it while it's in the air, then it's going to look something like this. You see how I waited until I fully threw out the two autos? You see how that says 9? But we're not trying to do that. We're trying to E while it's in the air. So look at the cooldown of the E again. Now it's in the air. You see it goes on to 7. 7. 7. So basically the objective and what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to E while the double shot is in the air. That puts it on a 7-second cooldown instead of a 9-second cooldown. So already, as you can see, like the combo so far, we have a lot of sort of mechanical checkpoints that we need to pass. And if we join it with flash, it looks like this. Another thing with your E is that you want to make sure you do the short dash, not the long dash. Basically, when you E with Lucian, you can do a short dash like that, or you could do a really long dash like that. It's just based on where your mouse is. And basically the short dash is the higher DPS one. Let me show you. So let's do auto, long dash, auto, auto. And then let's do auto, short dash, auto, auto. Now if you look at the damage, it's different because of this item. It has crit and the active. But more importantly, if you look at the DPS, the one with the short dash has a lot higher DPS than the long one. And that's just simply because when you long dash, it takes you longer to start attacking again. When you short dash instead, you're able to attack much faster. You see how I'm ready to attack really, really fast? As opposed to doing the long dash, it takes you longer to be able to attack. So the combo so far looks like this. Just imagine I use flash as well. And now we just want to add the Q. So the Q, we just want to make sure we Q while the auto's on the fly. It's a similar thing to how you want to E while your auto's on the fly, like this. You also want to Q while your auto attack's on the fly. So when you don't do this, it looks like this. Auto attack and then Q. So again, when you don't do this, auto attack then Q. But when you Q while your auto attack's on the fly, it's much faster. It's hard to show you the numbers here because I have PTA and I have Kraken. But you can definitely notice that it's faster when you do it while it's flying. So the full combo looks something like this. And as you can see, there's a lot of skill checks every single time. So first I start off by doing this. And I do that for like 15 minutes. At the start, since I'm really rusty, it'll look horrible. But over time, it'll start improving. And then after a while, when I have all that down, I start trying to flash to the side. Because that's a little bit more difficult. And as you can see, there's a lot of skill checks involved with flash and timing abilities and everything. So I find that this is a really good warm-up to do. If you're just starting out, I recommend not leaving this on, because if you leave this on, it's hard to tell if you're doing the whole combo right. I would break it up into parts and make sure you're doing each part correctly. So first, make sure you're doing this, and then it says 7 seconds. It's going to change obviously on the patch that you do it, but just make sure like this is at the lowest possible number. Make sure you're Eing while your auto attack is flying. So look at my auto attack here, and look at how I'm flying. And then also make sure it's a short hop instead of like a long hop. That's wrong. The long hop is wrong. To make a short dash. And then for the Q, again, just make sure you're queuing while your auto attack's on the fly. And then just put all these things together like this. And then once you got the one down without the flash, then you can start implementing flash into it. So you start flashing like this to their face. And I fuck up all the time, so you're gonna fuck up as well. But the longer you do the exercise, the more you'll get used to it. And then once you have W flashing full combo down pretty well, that's when you want to start flashing to the side. So you want to like W flash to the side, W flash, I fucked up there, W flash, W flash, I missed the target there. And you just want to do this a bunch for like 15 minutes total. You're gonna fuck up a lot, I fuck up a lot, but the longer you do the exercise, but it's up to like 15 minutes or so, the better you'll get at it. And then it gets to a point where like I've been doing this, for example, for like 30-40 minutes by now, because I've done this thing twice. Eventually you get like worn out of it, so make sure you only do it for like 15 minutes or something. Unless it's your first time, then if it's your first time, then you're gonna take a bit longer. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, quotes, leave it down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.